Hi, my name is Paul Qui. I'm the executive chef here at Uchiko restaurant, and welcome to Austin, Texas. I'm going to make a simple crudo dish out of loup de mer. It's definitely one of my favorite fishes raw, and it's one of my favorite fishes grilled. So I start off by making an incision on the belly, and then I cut just right behind the front fin of the fish, and I make that same incision on the other side. And I don't like to touch guts too much, so I'm a little bit lazy in that respect, but I pull everything out in one swoop, so you can take the whole thing out without ever having to touch the fish guts. So right after I take out the guts, I make a small incision in the belly so I can scrape off any excess blood. And I try to touch the fish as little as possible. It's very important that you constantly wipe to make sure you get any excess blood and or scales off the fish. Loup de mer only has 4 pin bones up here, so it shouldn't take that much force to break them, and you can just actually move your knife gently, as long as it's sharp, of course, all the way across. So it gives you a fillet. And now on to the next side. And it's the same motion. Oops. Sorry, I was a little nervous there. And here's the fish bone. You can just save that for making stocks or broths, any kind of soup. And then from there I take out I trim off any excess bone, and I take off the rib cage. Make sure that there's no bone. Especially if your knife is sharp, it's so easy to cut through this bone. The next step is to pin the fish. And you want to make sure you feel the bones with your fingers before you pull it, so you know where it's at. This one's being difficult. Then the next step is to skin the fish. When I cook this fish, I definitely keep the skin on, but for raw applications, the skin is not that edible. The key to this is to make sure you just push instead of doing the sawing motion. And you actually try to keep a lot of this silver layer of skin on the fish because it has a lot of flavor. I always brush the flesh of the fish with my blade to make sure I don't have any excess scales or bones on the fish. And with this fish in particular, since I left that layer of skin, I like to score it to make sure that it's tender. And it's like cutting meat, you always cut across the grain. So you have to put them. Yeah, just put it over. Cut across the grain, and I like to roll my sashimi pieces to where they kind of give a little bit more structure to the plate and a little bit of architecture. Like that. And I'm just going to serve these with some really nice Kumatos. It's a variety, I guess it's a hothouse version of a purple Cherokee tomato. Our friends over at Blue Bonnet's actually been trying to grow purple Cherokees or purple cherry tomato, chocolate cherry tomatoes. Put that on the plate. And with really simple crudo dishes, I always like to put garlic. A little bit of garlic. You put a little Thai chili for spice if you'd like. I've been using a lot of nasturtiums lately. Tyson brought them from his garden once, and I just kind of really fell in love with them. And the blossoms are edible too, so I've been using them on a lot of dishes. Nice, it has a nice peppery flavor. And they're really pretty. And like I said, the blossoms are edible as well. Then just a little drizzle of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. A little Meyer lemon zest. So a little lemon juice on the fish. And just to finish it off with Maldon. I like it because it gives you a nice bite, a nice size crunch and texture to the salt. And that's it. Simple glutamate crudo.